Hi guys, this is The Ordinary Man, step by step episode 16. So again, very briefly, just to give everybody who hasn't heard this before a quick idea of what this is all about, is basically I've been working at a company trying to get a little company called Property Basecamp off the ground. So bring it from an idea in my brain into a viable business. So really what this podcast is all about is literally just documenting the process of what I'm doing to try and get the company up and running. Again, as I always say, it's not to give anybody wisdom or anybody advice, because I'm not experienced enough to do so, but it's literally a brain dump of the things that I'm doing. So it's been very, very interesting actually. The last couple of days I've got some lovely feedback from people, and actually been taken aback by it, to be brutally honest with you. I got a message from a woman who I've never met before. Her name's Julie. She started her own company 8 years ago, and she's actually moved to the UK. And long story short, she sent me a message to say that that I've made her to-do list to listen to the podcast, and she sent me a screenshot of her to-do list to prove it to me. So things like that it's very nice to get stuff like that. So, and there's been just a couple of others who have got in touch with me to say that they're able to relate to the things that I'm talking about, and the frustrations and I suppose tactics or strategies that I'm doing. So that's great. That's exactly what I wanted to get out of this. So so thanks again. Thanks for everybody for your feedback. So keep it coming. So what have we been up to? So I suppose the last podcast was Wednesday. So Wednesday we had a meeting with a prospective client. It's a company I really like actually. We could call them an Irish-based company, but they're not. They were founded by 4 Irish guys, but they were founded in California, I think it was, in the States. But they've got a big presence now, a big Irish presence here, obviously in Ireland, as well as the States, and they're growing hugely. So I had a meeting with them to discuss basically what we do on Wednesday, to see if they needed something. So they're looking to hire 100 more employees over the next 12 months. So they are growing again substantially. So really just went in, had a chat, listened to the concerns, I suppose, more so of anything else, rather than going in and pitching to them. And find that out very quickly that to be honest, it's more endearing to these people if you go in and actually sit and listen to them and listen to their situation, rather than going in with a PowerPoint presentation, which I still have, but I use it more as a talking point after we've listened to their situation. So they've had a tough time, I suppose, with employees and their relocation experience. They've had issues with their landlord. They were using Airbnb to I suppose temporary house employees once they relocate here for the first couple of weeks until they find long-term accommodation. So even outside of our product, which is focused more on the long term, helping them find long term rental accommodation, I think we can help with the short term measures as well. So that really got me thinking about a couple of solutions. I've met a guy called well, better not say names, I suppose, but there's a company who basically manage Airbnbs for people who want to use that service. So I'm actually going to meet with the owner of that company today for a chat. I've met him before, really nice guy. So going to meet him today. So that could be an option. And then there's a couple of other solutions that we're looking at as well for them. I met a business development manager from one of the hotel groups based in Dublin, met her at the Dublin Chamber event on Tuesday, so that could be another option for them if we could get them some sort of deal or discounts on their corporate rates for the hotel. And then there's one or two other things that we might be able to help with. So that was really good. So offered them a free trial of our app, so they're going to go away and have a chat about that. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on trying to again prove our value straight away without even using our product by helping them in their temporary housing situation. So that has me thinking about a lot of different things, which is interesting. So that's that. Wednesday afternoon, I actually had I was supposed to have a call with a company in the States from New York, who are, I guess they call it their staffing services, their recruiters. They contacted us a couple of weeks ago, as they were interested in what our product was and if we were going to be moving, if we were going to be expanding to the States. So we scheduled the call and she never showed up. So that was pretty interesting with no emails and no apologies. So I don't know what's happened there. It's hard to know how to follow up with people after things like that, because I think that's ridiculous. So anyway, be the bigger man and all that. So that was Wednesday. Yesterday then, really, I'm going heavily on the long-term relationships, I suppose, and to explain that a little bit more. So I think that the last podcast I put up something about saying not asking for a meeting and getting a meeting, and again, it's probably a bit of a mind shift in the approach. So up until now, I've all been about, well, how do I get into the room? How do I get into the room with these companies? What strategies could I put in place, and what emails could I send, and what events should I be going to, and all of these little things. And then you're not getting feedback and you're getting down on it. But probably a mindset change that I've made is don't ask. Don't people don't like being sold to, or people don't like feeling like they're being sold to. So don't ask. The focus has to be, for me, on trying to build relationships which will then lead to business in the long term. And that could be 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 5 years. But don't just delve straight in and tell them, oh, this is what we do, we're fantastic, because I don't think it works, is what I'm finding. And in the long term, if you have an ability to build up a relationship with a decision maker before you even get them on board with your product, the likelihood of that relationship being successful, I think, is going to go up tenfold. So, because they understand you as a person rather than a corporation or a company. And I guess that's what the podcast is helping with as well, is, I suppose, getting me out there, and I suppose along with that then bringing a bit of attention to our brand. So yesterday I spent a lot of time again using the LinkedIn Sales Navigator to keep across people of interest to me, and companies of interest to me, to see if I can engage and get into a meaningful conversation with them. The key that I presume it's going to be the key to this is not just talking to people for the sake of talking to people. Make sure it's something that you can engage in because you're being genuine and you're actually interested in what they're doing and what they're saying, and not just every single thing that they do on LinkedIn or any other social media platforms. So I spent a lot of time yesterday, I suppose, starting to garner relationships, and an example of that is I had a couple of account executives from a technology company based here in Dublin, who one who I contacted and one who from the same company who they got in touch with me, and they're just interested in the podcast and interested in what our company is doing, and that all just came from me, I suppose, thanking them for connecting for a start, which nobody seems to do, which is crazy. why bother connecting with people if you're not actually going to connect and collaborate? So that was interesting. And what they've done now is they've asked, did I want to have a meeting? So we're going to have a call on Monday. Again, nothing may come of the call, but maybe something does come of the call. So just going to have a quick chat about what their company actually does, because it's a company that's been on my horizon for a while, but like a lot of these companies' websites, you need to be able to decipher what the bloody hell they do, which isn't directed at that company. It's at a lot of companies, and I'm a very simple brain, so I need to be told exactly in black and white what a company does to understand it. So yeah, we're gonna have a call on Monday. Maybe nothing comes of it because they're not necessarily the decision makers within the company if we want to do business with them, but they might chat to their colleagues in HR in a couple of weeks or a couple of months if our brand comes up in conversation, and then again that might be the little bit of a trigger that might lead to us getting into the room with them and helping their company. So again, that mind shift I suppose I've made is very interesting. The difficult thing about that obviously is when you think about that long term future, you have to abandon all your concerns and I suppose issues that you might have on a short term financial front, which as I spoke about on a couple of podcasts ago, that's tricky for me now at the minute. But because I've already gone to that sort of long term vision model, I'm already thinking of ways that I can have some sort of short term financial gains outside of our core product and outside of the company in general, to keep me ticking over myself. So that's been very important, I suppose. Mindshift, I think, again, it's probably a bit too early to tell, but that's the approach that we're going to go for. So if you do get contacted by me or connected by me, know that I actually do want to have a chat and connect, not to sell you anything, but just because I'm be interested in what you're doing, because I'm only adding people that are of interest to me. So that's been that. Yesterday as well, I just had a lot of little admin stuff to do, a lot of responding to emails. I had to set up meetings with that Airbnb company, as well as I'm trying to set up meetings now, again another round of meetings with our property agencies to discuss a slight tweak in our model that we want to do, which I'll probably talk about on a separate podcast, because it's very interesting and it's something we missed in regards to whenever we were in chatting to the property agencies. We were clearly able to define the benefits that their company will get, but we overlooked the individuals who will be doing the work and who will be helping us, i.e. their admin people and the actual agents themselves. So we're hopefully rectifying that with a little switch in our model. So I'm just setting up meetings with the property agencies, because that's really key to the success of this for us. And that's really it. So today then I've got a meeting this morning. The Airbnb last night, by the way, I couldn't sleep. Had so many things going through my mind up to 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking of I suppose strategy and how we're doing this. And it's I guess that's, most people love to drive them mad, but I love that, because I do my best thinking at night. So early morning again this morning. But anyway, so this morning I've got a meeting with that Airbnb company. Then I've got a meeting with a prospective client, a prospective partner who are a local relocation agent, and there may be a little bit of work that we could do together, because we lost out on a client before because we didn't offer some of their services. So we might partner up with them. So going to have a chat with them today, and that's pretty much it for today. Just again trying to collaborate and have the chats with prospective people of interest. So that's really it. Thanks again for listening, guys. All the feedback is is very much appreciated and welcome. So have a good day and have a great weekend.